Happening right now on Sports Extra, the Braves, they are back in Atlanta, and some of their struggles have continued, but the players, they remain optimistic. Also, we are finally into the final stretch of the regular season for the Hawks. How can they turn things around ahead of the playoffs? Plus, it is the beginning of one of the best weeks of the entire year. Masters Week is here, and we'll have you completely covered every single step of the way.
You don't go play golf and double bogey the first hole and mail it in the rest of the round. We got a ton of games left.
It's something we've got to be prepared for and not just respond to, but initiate. Regardless of size or strength or anything like that, it's a mentality that we have to have.
Best golf tournament in the whole world. Augusta National Golf Club does it unlike anybody else. It's just a special week for the city, for the community, for the state.
All right, guys, we've got so much to talk about. I'm sure these two will have plenty of opinions. Sports Extra, it starts now. All right, everybody, thanks for staying up late with us. Welcome into Sports Extra. The good news is that the Braves couldn't lose today, but the bad news is there's no Braves baseball to talk about today. They did certainly give us plenty to talk about throughout the first full week of games, good, bad, and indifferent. Let's get right into it. Let me direct your attention to this. The Braves, they've started this season 1-8. After an 0-7 start, the Bats, they exploded on Friday night in a 10-0 victory over the Marlins, giving those Braves fans something that they thought this team could actually turn into. Then on Saturday, another shutout, but it was the Braves on the losing side of that. Manager Brian Snitker thought Friday was the game to turn things around, but afterwards, not so much. All right, this is not the start that I think anybody either thought would happen or wanted, but two guys that I do want in the studio right now. Right to my right, we have John Michaels from the home of the Braves, 680 The Fan, Mr. Miami himself. How's it going?
Doing good. Doing better in the Braves. I think I still have a 2 for 10 stretch in me somewhere if they need me.
Okay, they may call you up here in just the next little bit, and then of course you recognize that face down there. It is our very own Reggie Chatman. Reggie, thank you for joining us on Sports Extra today.
Happy to be here, and I hope that we don't rain too hard on the Braves parade like it's raining outside, but I feel like it's kind of unavoidable at this point. It's been rough.
It has been rough. The ballpark was fun on Friday.
Yes.
You were with me,
Very
but
fun.
We'll get to that. Let's start with the fact that on the West Coast, John, 0-7 start. Granted, they played the Padres and the Dodgers, of course, but what's with the rough start for the Braves?
Everything that we thought during the offseason really manifested itself in the first couple of weeks of the season. You can't hit can't hit the baseball. 1 for 34 start with runners in scoring position. Everybody outside of Spencer Schwellenbach and Chris Sale sort of been a work in progress at the starting rotation. The back end of your bullpen trying to get to Raisel Iglesias. Nobody knows who's going to be out there. So everything that we talked about leading into this season, there was a microcosm of that on the 0-7 trip. I hate talking about numbers, but the numbers are not on the Braves side right now.
One thing that I think is important to remember is we did have high hopes for this team heading into the season. There were not a lot of moves made, and now they're not giving us a lot to show for it. So that is frustrating. And Reggie, what's even more frustrating is when these guys are in scoring position, John mentioned it a little bit, they are not getting across the plate. There is some reason, I don't know what hex people have on the Braves right now, because this is very uncharacteristic for this team. What's going wrong for the guys that are on the base path?
Well, it's weird because it's hard to figure out, right? That's the big question that everybody has. The first game against the Marlins, seven hits of runners in scoring position. This last time, one for 9, right? Yeah. So that's the exact opposite. And it stinks because you felt like after they showed a little bit of relief, I saw the Austin Riley base hit where he shook his head. Yes, it felt like they had kind of got a little bit more elastic to kind of feel themselves out. It did not look good the other day, and I'm not really sure exactly what's going on. But maybe moves might have to be made. It seems a little early for all that, but something's going to have to give.
Shake up the lineup, see if we can get some more Rice Krispie treats in the clubhouse. According to Matt Olson, his mom was making those. We might need some more of those in there, but we're going to need something, especially because a lot of these bats, John, that we expect to produce have not done it. Austin Riley said it's on me. He admitted that in the clubhouse on Friday. Matt Olson, similar breath of that thought. But when you're talking about the middle of the order that cannot produce, how do you fix it?
sometimes it is just time in baseball. They've already tried changing hitting coaches. Tim Hires is in this year, so whatever his new philosophy may be. We talked about this on 680 The Fan on Friday. I said, maybe go back to what you did 2 years ago where you just ambush a pitcher. First pitch, if it's anywhere close, we're swinging at it and we're trying to put it in play. Maybe the patience isn't there. And then the guys that are making all this money just have to start earning their money. Whether it's Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Michael Harris, Marcell Ozuna, you go down the list, Matt Olson, these guys get paid a lot of money. And if they're not producing, you can't expect Orlando Arcia and Nick Allen and guys like this to come up with big hits. So maybe the big money guys, look yourself in the mirror. Players only meeting, I don't know, go out and get drunk one night. I'm not sure what needs to happen. Something needs to change for this team to be better.
And for lack of a better phrase here, they can't really be a one-hit wonder. It can't be a one-night scenario. It's got to be producing multiple nights in a row. We're just not seeing that from the Braves. We're also seeing some very negative news, Reggie. We saw on Monday, which I can't believe this is still in the same week that we're talking about it. Jurickson Profar, he was the biggest acquisition for them in the offseason. He tests positive for a banned substance. So that is an 80-game suspension. That's going to take us through June. That's bad news for the Braves, especially when if they make the postseason, big if now at this point, he can't participate in that either. What kind of an effect does that have for this team?
Well, massive. And I think it's crazy because this team right now is 23rd in Major League Baseball in home runs hit. It feels like a team that in the past has always hit the home run ball really, really well. You add a guy like Jurickson Profar, who after this last season looked like an absolute star, and maybe we have reason to understand why he looked like that now. But I think just him, that happening to him being out of this lineup, all the other changes, guys getting hurt, all the moving around, I just don't think his team has gotten comfortable yet any type of way, especially the fact they started out on the road. But look, time is running out. Excuses aren't going to work for very much longer. This team needs to pick it up if they want to try and make that postseason push.
And not to speak for the players, but I can't imagine they were very happy when they found that out. This early into the season, this was someone who was supposed to produce in your lineup, and all of a sudden, this is probably the worst thing that players want to hear, and this happens so early.
Absolutely, and it's got to be tough for Alex Anthopoulos. You spend an offseason where you kind of said, hey, we're going to bet on the guys that we've got here, and now you go out and you spend the money on Jurickson Profar, and you have them for what, 1 game?
Terrible.
2 games? It's terrible. They have no skin in the game when it comes to Jurickson Profar.
Yeah.
If I'm the Braves personally, when we come to the trading deadline, if anybody wants him, he's there. He's your problem. I want no more parts of him, because how can I trust this guy that he's going to come back and he's going to be on the straight path? He had a career year that got him paid, and then it comes out afterwards that he tests positive for a banned substance. Things that make you go,
Let's talk about another negative for the Braves. That same day, we heard that Reynaldo Lopez was going to have surgery. He's dealing with shoulder inflammation. That surgery comes on Tuesday, so he's out for a long time. They've told us 60 days. Could be longer. Right. We'll see how the surgery goes on Tuesday. What effect does that have on the starting rotation?
Spencer Strider, where you at, bro? Please, hurry up.
He's coming soon.
I know you're doing well in Gwinnett, but it also means guys like A.J. Smith, Shawver, and Grant Holmes have to give us more than 4 innings. That's got to happen.
Yeah.
Schwellenbach's been fantastic. Sale's been pretty good. You assume that Strider, who's looked good in AAA Gwinnett, when he comes back is going to be fine. Now, where do you go from there without Reynaldo Lopez? There's a lot to ask for some other guys, but somebody's going to have to step up.
And Spencer Strider will be stepping up eventually. He's probably got one more start in him down there in Gwinnett. I know they're loving watching Spencer Strider walk around down there, but I think the Braves need him a little bit worse. So good that he's been able to do some good things down there. Now, Reggie, let's talk about Spencer Schwellenbach. You had mentioned him earlier, I believe. This is a guy who first time out against the Padres. It's a loss, but he looked really good. Second time out, home opener on Friday, he reaffirmed that first start that it was good stuff. What do you think we should expect from a guy like Spencer Schwellenbach?
I think at this point we just have to expect that this is who he is, right? 2 starts into this year, 2 quality starts. He's got an ERA of 0.00. The kid has been absolutely balling this year, and I think what's really impressive about him, it feels like the moment's never too big for him. Matt Olson in the clubhouse the other day said he might be one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. His manager, Bryce Nicker, actually had the same idea, and the stats considerably back that up. The kid is very good. He feels like every moment is his, and he's really been taken over, and it's huge for this team that right now in the starting rotation, really shaky behind a couple of guys that you know might be able to get it done.
All we hope is it's not a Bryce Elder situation where the first half of the year he looked terrific and then something happened after the All-Star break. So I hope you're right, and I hope this is what we can expect. Really quick from you, Sean Murphy coming back. What does that do for this club?
Hopefully it brings some veteran presence, and hopefully we get 2023 first half Sean Murphy where he hit over 300, hit about 17 or 18 home runs. You got to have that, like Drake Baldwin, kind of be your every 4th day guy.
Yeah, at this point they just need anything to work out. Please.
Something.
It's not great. 0 for 7 to start the year. No one saw that coming. All right, coming up, the Hawks roller coaster. It continues. We've seen that coming, but they've lost 5 of their last 6 now. Double thumbs down from John over here. We'll talk about the final week of the regular season after the break. The Hawks love to take us on a roller coaster, don't they?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it has been up and down. I'm getting nauseous at this point. Let's stay on one trajectory, please. Unfortunately, I don't really know that that's going to happen in this final week, Reg. We have one more week to go until we get the postseason in the NBA. What's going to happen for the Hawks this week?
Well, the Hawks have a schedule that they're going to have to take advantage of, right? You've got the Nets, who aren't very good, the 76ers, who are worse, and then, of course, you've got the 2 games that actually matter against Orlando, one at home and one on the road. You got to get at least one of those. You're very close in the standings in the Eastern Conference. You'd like to be able to have a chance to kind of bump up a little bit higher in that standings. And also you'd like to just in general have a little bit more momentum. I mean, this last week has not been good. So just the opportunity to be able to create some wins the next couple of nights, I'll allow them the opportunity to do just that.
Momentum is a funny thing in sports, right? I think you make a really good point, especially when they've lost 5 out of the last 6. Earlier, I was talking to Dyson Daniels about the opportunity for them to play themselves out of the play-in. Looks pretty grim at this point for that to be happening, John. But when you lose 5 out of the last 6, what has happened during this stretch for Atlanta?
It's the same old Hawks. They don't play an ounce of defense when it really matters. Down the stretch, it's bad shots. Some of them are Trey, some of them are other players. But a lot of times it just has to do with the fact that teams can get anywhere they want on the floor against this club. And that's what's been going on, I don't know, for about a half a decade now. And if something doesn't change, they're going to continue to be stuck in the play-in malaise. Reg just mentioned 2 of the teams they're playing. The Sixers and the Nets won Cooper Flag. So they're not trying to win a game. You better win those 2. And then your play-in matchup most likely is going to be against Orlando. The only question is it going to be at State Farm or is it going to be down in whatever the heck they call the building down in Orlando? It used to be the O-Dome at one time. I don't know. Do you want to go on the road? Do you want to be at home? That's the only thing you have to play for these last couple of games.
It's so frustrating because State Farm Arena, you've seen it. In the postseason, it's phenomenal.
Awesome.
I would love for them to get out of the play-in scenario. We've seen it when they made an Eastern Conference Finals run. That's probably one of the loudest buildings I've ever been into. Just, I need them to get into some kind of rhythm to stop talking about the play-in at some point. And Reggie, they are locked in for that play-in spot. But take me through a little bit of the best and worst case scenario for the Hawks this week.
Well, I feel like with the Hawks, because it's a roller coaster and you never know what you're going to get, the big part could be they win all the games, and the other things they could just lose all of them pretty badly and then go out of the first round of the play-in tournament and the whole season's lost and everybody's really upset. So, I mean, it's hard. It's so hard to try and figure out this Hawks team because you might have a night where Zachary Shashea goes crazy and Trey goes along with them and they get really, really good play from all these guys that are behind them. But oh my gosh, it's tough. I think that overall there's a pretty good chance that they'll blow one of these games against either the Nets or the 76ers. They'll blow one of these games against the Magic, and then they'll just limp into the playoffs, and then.
Basically, what you're telling us is if you're a betting man or woman, don't really bet on the Hawks.
Or any team in Atlanta at this point.
It's been a rough couple of weeks.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. We're hoping something gets better. Let's talk about something positive. We've got some local connections in the 2025 Hall of Fame basketball class. Dwight Howard, Maya Moore, these are 2 very deserving individuals. John, tell me why you think they're deserving.
I'm going to start with Dwight Howard because there are so many people that are going to crap on Dwight Howard being in the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to tell you, you don't know basketball.
You don't know ball.
If you're talking about Dwight Howard not being in there. When he was in his prime, one of the elite centers of all time, one of the elite rebounders of all time, one of the elite shot blockers of all time. The guy was a difference maker, and even deep into his career, he could still play defense and still rebound. Maya Moore, quite simply, is one of the 5 greatest women's players that's ever walked this planet. So she is no doubt a first ballot Hall of Famer, and congratulations to both of them. I've had a chance to meet Dwight a couple of times. Nice guy in person. Seen him up at Swanee Sports Academy, still working out with kids. So he's a great guy up there, and I'm happy for him being there.
Look, and I'll tell you, you mentioned it, John. What else can we say about these 2? I think the big thing with Dwight Howard, you mentioned, he should have been on the top 75 all-time players list in the NBA. The guy was an absolute superstar in this league, brought the Magic, which seemed by himself, to the finals. And that was back in a day and age where the center could really run the show. That doesn't really happen very much anymore, right? The dude was so dominant. Maya Moore, I mean, the game of women's basketball has a lot to do with the just ability that Maya Moore has, right? She is incredible. She put butts in seats. She won a lot of championships, and you mentioned she was top 5 all time. There's a chance she could have even been higher if she continued to play, but of course, just decided to do a good thing and try and help a man get out of jail.
And they're great people too.
Right.
You just mentioned that last piece of it, and they do so much for around the city of Atlanta as well. So congratulations to those two. We are very, very excited for both of you. The owner, Arthur Blank, when he was asked questions about Kirk Cousins, it was kind of vague, except for the fact that they had an hour-long meeting and he wrote 5 pages of notes. My guess is that Arthur writes very big, and there was probably 1 sentence on each page, because I don't know what you could get out of a meeting like that.
Yeah, I have no idea. Kirk Cousins had asked during the Super Bowl, hey, I want to be traded because I want to be a starter. He probably reiterated that to Mr. Blank as we get close to the NFL draft, and this is a time where a lot of people want to make moves. The Falcons still hold the cards because at this point there's only about 2 spots that maybe have opening for starting quarterbacks in the NFL, guys that aren't going to draft somebody in the first round. The question is, do you want this to linger into OTAs, into mini camps, into training camp, where you have a disgruntled backup standing in behind your most important player, who's Michael Penix, coming into this year? I don't know that I want those problems any longer.
And I wish we could talk about this for a long time, but Megan's timer just went off, so we have to go to the next thing coming up. It is the best week of the year. We're going to get you completely ready for all the pimento cheese you can look at or eat. It's Masters Week, everybody. We'll be right back. Finally, Masters Week is here. We've been waiting for this for a long time. The first major of the year on the PGA Tour, and an exciting week of memorable moments from Augusta National that I'm sure will take part. Joining me now is a guy that knows a thing or two, not only about the course and the game, but also Augusta native, who's also currently there, Morehouse golf head coach, and my friend Edgar Evans. Great to see you, Edgar. You're so good at telling us about the Masters. Tell everyone at home about the magic of this incredible tournament.
Oh man, we're in for such a special week. The Masters, of course, to me, I'm a little biased, but it's the best golf tournament in the whole world. Augusta National Golf Club does it unlike anybody else. It's just a special week for the city, for the community, for the state, for the country, for the world. The best golfers in the world are coming together, and just a tradition unlike any other. So I'm just fired up and excited to get to the Masters this year.
And they've been cranking out content on their social media, getting everybody amped up for the event. Now, unfortunately, this is a storyline we talk about a lot, Tiger Woods at Augusta National. That's not going to happen this year. But what positive storyline are you looking forward to watching this week?
I mean, it's pretty simple. I think it's having the best players in the world back together again. So everybody from the LIV Tour, all the champions, past champions like Phil, they'll all be back playing against the best players in the world from the PGA Tour. So I just think having everybody back together again is going to be something truly special, something we miss. The PGA Tour and LIV Golf, they're trying to work on a deal. Negotiations have slightly broken down with the last offer that the LIV gave to the PGA Tour, but they do have a sense of urgency to try to get something done.
Ultimately, golf fans and patrons, when we're talking about the Masters, just want to see the best play, so that's going to be really exciting. Now, talking about one of the best, Rory McIlroy, he is one of the best golfers in the world. However, he hasn't won a major championship in a decade, Edgar, which is truly insane to me, and I'm sure to you as well. Why should people actually keep their eye on Rory this week to put on a green jacket?
You've got to always keep your eye on Rory. His game is perfect for the Augusta National. He is that high draw, and I can tell you when you play at Augusta National Golf Club, having a shorter club into the green is always better than have a long one. Trust me, I know. But his game is tailor-made for it. And, as you know, when you play golf, you go through slumps. Things may happen. And sometimes a course has your number. But his game, his mentality, everything is tailor-made for that golf course. And also, he won the Players' Championship this year. So he's at the top of his form. I have no doubt that Rory will be in the mix come Sunday.
A lot of people betting on Rory to pull this thing out this week. Hopefully he does, because that would be a great storyline for everybody involved. Look, you've been right in the past when you've come on this show and told us who is going to win the Masters. Who do you have winning the Masters next Sunday?
Rhea, last time I came on, I told you who was going to win the Masters.
You did.
They double bogeyed the first hole and still went on to win. And this year, I have no doubt in my mind that Georgia's own Russell Henley will be your 2025 Masters champion. Book it, it's going to happen. Russell Henley wears a green jacket after on Sunday.
Wow, what gives you that confidence for that pick?
Well, he's been playing well. He's won this year. I mean, he's from the state of Georgia. I just think all the stars are aligning. You know, those guys on the PGA Tour, when they get hot, they can ride that out for weeks and weeks and weeks. And, I just think it's his time, and he could also be dubbed a sleeper pick. But I really think the Georgia boy is going to wear the green jacket again.
Look, this isn't a betting show, but if you are betting, take this advice because he's been right every time I've asked him about Masters winners. Edgar, thank you so much. Always appreciate your time.
Awesome. Have a good one.
All right, everybody, we'll be right back. For tonight's Maria's Minute, let's discuss some sports history. Alexander Ovechkin, now the NHL's all-time leading scorer. He broke Wayne Gretzky's long-standing record by scoring a one-timer on a power play against the Islanders. Ovi is now at 895 goals all-time, and Gretzky held that record for 31 years, so I'm not sure we're ever going to see it broken again. The most amazing part of all of this was the Great One was in attendance, and they stopped the Caps-Islanders game so they could honor this moment. We take too many of these sports accomplishments and moments for granted, and I'm so glad to see the NHL giving it all of the attention it deserved. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday, and we'll keep you posted from Augusta. It's Masters Week. Enjoy.